Hi, welcome to this video on the VLOOKUP function. Now, the VLOOKUP function, by explanation, is a function that looks up a particular value from the first column to the left of a selected data range and returns a value in the same row from a specified column. Now, what we're trying to say is this, that the VLOOKUP function will check for a particular value in a selected data range, which means first you have to determine where you're going to look up your values from. That is selected data range. So if I highlight this way, this will be my selected data range. I was saying that the VLOOKUP function will search for that particular value on the first column to the left. So from what I've highlighted, column M is my first column to the left of this selected data range. So when it sees a particular item that you have specified, it moves on that row to a specified column and picks the item and returns the item there. That's how the VLOOKUP function works. Now, to use the VLOOKUP function, certain things must be present, or certain features must be present in your data. The first is that the item you are looking for must be a unique value, which means there are no two items within that data range that have that particular item. So it must be unique and pertain only to one entity within that given range. The second thing is that that particular item you're looking for, which is unique, must lie on the first column to the left of your selected data range. Now, the moment all these features are there, then we can use our VLOOKUP to extract information. Now, where these values are not in the right place, like you have a unique value but it's not lying on the first column, VLOOKUP has a problem there, and that's why other functions in lookup value like the index and match, XLOOKUP, will actually come to the aid of the VLOOKUP function. Now let's look at our data. We have this information here, serial number, employee number, down to age. Now this list could have been hundreds of thousands of names. Therefore, the purpose of the training, we've reduced it to just say 34 names. Now on list B, we have just 14 names extracted from this list. Now, like I said earlier, this list could have been hundreds of thousands of names. Now, for some reasons, 14 names have been extracted with their employee number. Now, we need to check from this mass data the location of this particular employee and the year they were employed. Now, if you begin to do finding one after the other, you can guess that for this 14, it's going to take a pretty long time. Now, this is where the VLOOKUP function actually comes up. Now, what is the syntax? How can we use the logic syntax to extract this information? The logic syntax for VLOOKUP is equal to VLOOKUP. You open a bracket, you pick the lookup value. And like we said, the lookup value will have to be a unique value that pertains to only one item within your selected database. Now, if you're talking about students, admission number would be a unique value. Matriculation number will be a unique value. Then for staff, employees, employee number or staff ID will be a unique value. This is because no two candidates or staff will have the same employee number. So you look up that particular value, you take a comma. The next thing we say R, and R is our range. Remember, we said you must select the range where you want to pick your information from, and that is represented by R here. The next item we have is N. N, we have defined N here as the column index number of your expected return value. Now we have here location. In this case, location is our expected return value. Now, what is the column index number? You go to your database and you begin to count where location is. Now, if we highlight from B, so B will be column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So location will be column 4. So that is our N. Now, if you're looking for year of employment, you also have to calculate and know what your year of employment column will be. So the N represents the column number. So if it is 5, your N will be 5. Now we've seen this a couple of times. We saw this when we did H lookup T stroke F. Of course, we know what true is. That means you can actually look for an approximate value, in which case you would have sorted your data. But most time you use your VLOOKUP, you're actually looking for exact match. So F will be selected. Now let's use this syntax and populate this particular aspect that is left undone. So I'm going to say equal to VLOOKUP. Now, the next is asking is the lookup value, which is what we said LV here. I'll say the lookup value must lie on the first column to the left. So this is the value we're looking up. So I take this value and I take comma, and I'm going to define a range. So I come to this place. Now I'm not going to define from here. Look around, I'm going to define from here because that value is not lying on the first column. The value is lying here. So I'm going to start here so that it can actually be on the first column to the left. So from what I've highlighted, the value I'm looking for will be on column B. And from what I've highlighted, column B is the first column to the left of my data range. Now I intend to copy down, so I'm going to hold that place fixed. We've done that a lot of times. And I take comma. When I take comma, the next thing is asking is column index number. Now we're looking for location. So we count employee number 1, name 2, tag number 3, location 4. So the location is actually on column 4. So I'm just going to take 4 and I take comma. Then the last thing is true or false. So of course we know we are looking for exact match. I take false and I press my enter. Now it's saying that this particular candidate, the location is Benin. Now if I come to this place, I'm going to do the same thing and my column index number will change. So employee number will no more be column 3. Now if I copy this to this particular location, a lot of things will change because one, I have C2 here. If I copy to this place, let me copy here. You see, it's going to change to D2, but I want to copy and retain C2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold C2 fixed for horizontal copy. And that means I'm going to place a $ only at the back of C2. Now, placing a $ there simply means that I've held it fixed. So if I copy to this side, you see C2 still remains, but employee number is not column 4. So I would need to check what column employee number is. So I come here and I know this is column 4, 5, 6. Employee number is column 6. So I change this to 6 and I press my enter key. So this is Benin and 2019. But it's going to also take time because I'm going to start copying down. If I copy this down to this place, let me copy this down. This will be okay. Then I now come here and also copy this down. But we can do this faster. Let me take out this. All we need to do is this 4 is a column number, and I can actually get that for using the match function. We know what the match function does. It picks the position of a particular item. So if I do this equal to match, let's look at match, equal to match, and I want to know the location. Now this is location. I want to match location in this particular place. It's asking me for the lookup array. So I'm going to come here and I pick this. And I'm taking the exact value, so I'm going to take that and I press enter. So it's saying that the location of the index number of location is 4. So I can come here and adjust this. Instead of writing 4, I can actually use index match. So I'm going to adjust this formula a little bit. I'm going to remove this and say match this particular cell in the lookup array. I come here and I select this. Now I'm also going to hold this fixed. So if I take a comma, I take the exact match, and of course I have my false there, so I press my enter. Now this way I don't need to change the column number. Now the next thing I need to do is D, which is my location, is on D1. Now if I copy to this place, look at what happened. If I copy here to this place, it gets to E1. But if I copy down you see what's going to happen? It has moved from D to E1, and I actually want it to remain on employee number. So what I'm going to do now, I'll come here and hold D1 fixed for vertical copy. So I'm going to put a $sign at the front of D1 and I press enter. So I want to take out this, and you can see that if I copy here, I get the correct amount, and if I copy down, so all I need to do is simply to do 1, and I highlight the whole of this, and I copy right and down, which is Ctrl R and D. Now this way I don't need to be changing the locations of the item. Now VLOOKUP have been able to pick all this information from a given data range. Now from what we've done, you notice that we picked a value here, and that value was lying on the first column to the selected data range. So there's no way we could have selected this. Now what if this value moves from here to the middle? It simply means that we can no longer use VLOOKUP to achieve this, because we said for VLOOKUP to work, the value we are looking up must lie. We use the word must, which means not a probability, must lie on the first column to the left of your selected data range. Which means if for any reason this information is rearranged and employee number moves to the middle, we can no longer achieve this using VLOOKUP. But Excel has other functions that can conquer this. This is the major shortcoming of VLOOKUP statement. In the event that the lookup value changes position from the leftmost cell, VLOOKUP can no longer work. And we have things like index and match and the powerful XLOOKUP that Microsoft introduced in August 2019, which we're also going to cover as part of this course. Thank you very much for listening. In other videos, we're going to see much more of what Excel can do in the lookup functions. Bye-bye.